Now last week, if you remember, I put a video up saying that we'd worked on the steering and that it was all nice and smooth. The operation was good. And then a friend of mine in Florida, Luke, who builds these things for a living, took a look at my system and made a couple of suggestions because he was concerned that we didn't have the full Ackerman principle in play. The Ackerman principle is to do with the turning radius of the car. When you're turning, the outer radius on the turn is larger than the inner radius. So you've got a smaller turning circle on the inside than the outside, which makes a lot of sense if you think about it. And the setup that I had wouldn't allow that. So he's made a couple of suggestions, a couple of changes. I've put a beam in through here to give me a pivot point. And the links are now behind this, and they now turn the wheels to the point where one wheel is turned out a lot more than the opposite wheel, so that when you make that turn you have now got both of the radiuses. The operation is still smooth. Turn there from the left to the right. You're still in dry fit at the moment, and then you have the turn from the right to the left. And you'll see the links in play down the bottom there. It's actually quite difficult to get to see those now that the extra bar is in the way. But now the system is working on the Ackerman principle properly. It prevents drag on the tyres, it prevents overuse of power, draining too much power either from the engine or from the batteries. It'll be batteries in this case. Prolongs the life of the tyres and makes the vehicle a lot easier to control. I spent most of the week on this. It was quite complicated to work out how to actually do it on my car without changing too much, like the angle of the steering wheel, which I really didn't want to do. But there we are, now it's all there. So now I've got to take it apart, paint up the beam, swap the screws out there for some bolts, fit some bolts in underneath, and then paint it all down in Hammerite, the same as the rest of the chassis. There we go. So there's just a turn there, you see the turn, and then the turn on the opposite hand. There we go. So that's been this week's work. A lot of hard work, but it was worth it.